Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
How would you like to make your first million? And today we have a special guest, Jaime, the founder of Career Agility System. So Jaime, tell us, what are the 5 steps to make your first million?
Sure. So I boil it down in terms of you've got to inventory your assets. What are you bringing to the table? Second, you got to know your target. Who's your audience? Third, you've got to bridge your assets and your target to figuring out what your personal brand promise is. Then fourth, you've got to test and evolve that bridge and start to get those clients going. And then from there, you've got to grow your awareness as number 5 to keep that wheel going, to bring in more clients and to get to that million.
Wow, that's fantastic. Now let's talk about you, because you are one of the heroes, yes? Because one of the heroes and one of the survivors of the women in tech, which is something that apparently is really, really hard. Yeah, we boys make sure that we give you a hard time. I don't know why. The women is getting less funded than men in tech. We still don't understand why the project that most of the tech teams are full of boys and looks like a boys club. Yeah. And sometimes the company, even we have this problem in startups, we have this problem in media, and also in large companies, we have big issue with inclusivity and openness in terms of women in tech, which I'm a big advocate to support women, because I know that you girls are amazing. So tell us how you managed to survive all these boys or this male-dominant environment to be so successful that you are today, which I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, thank you.
Tell us.
Part of it is just being part of the club, being able to show your value, being able to make a difference, and just getting, showing that you're capable of doing what they're doing and falling in, I think a lot of the challenges is really before you even get to a career, because a lot of people just get weeded out early on, and being interested in programming or building technology, just sometimes it's not the skill set certain women are really gravitated towards. But I just went through and demonstrated I know what I'm doing, I can add value, and I can do just as well, if not better, than the guys at the table too that are building technology.
Have you ever felt that that you have a very good point, a very good opinion in any of the companies that you have worked, and because you were women, people were not taking you seriously?
I've definitely felt that, especially as I got into more senior roles and not having maybe as big of a track record of some of the more senior technical guys that were at the table. So, because you definitely, as you move up and as you look at most of your C-level of tech companies, it's still predominantly guys, and women are in the marketing leadership role or the HR leadership role. It's harder to see CIOs and
Yeah, there is
CTOs that are
small
women.
space for certain roles,
Yes.
but this is it. And so tell us a secret. Tell us how you embrace it, what you did in order to those boys to take you seriously.
Yeah.
Now you're the founder. Now you're running your own company, your own tech company. I invest in tech, so I'm on the space. I know a lot was going on. So we are about to cover that. But tell us how, as a women in tech, you pay the way so people take you seriously,
Yeah.
respect you, and they clearly take you seriously and respecting you because they're promoting you. So
Yes.
what you did? Somebody said, well, this idea is not gonna be good. let's think twice. So what you did, you rehearse again, you come back with more solid arguments. So
So
tell us what you did, because we want to
my
help women.
my secret sauce was really understanding how to translate between the business, the market, and the technology. Sure, I come with a tech background, but I quickly dove into the business side of tech companies, understanding what businesses needed, what the end clients needed, what the internal clients needed, and being able to serve as that bridge to translate those needs into, okay, technical specifications. What do we need to go build? What are the true requirements for a minimum viable product? How do we get to market? And continuously, what I've learned, and at least for me, my superpower is I make the intangible tangible, because technology is providing a service to others, but you really need to articulate what that value is, what the value proposition is. Same thing as people, as humans, we provide a service as well, and you have to be able to articulate that brand promise, what you're bringing to the table, the value. And if you can crack that code so that people understand you, they'll buy into you, and you'll gain that credibility.
Oh, but I'm glad that you touched this point, because this is what we're going to uh, to talk a little bit more about. Is very usually, and we find these boys that they're the founders, right? And they are all software developers, and they all want to write the amazing code, the code that will make change the life of humans forever. And they don't like to sell, they don't like to talk to clients, they only want to build this technology that will save the world. And then they do the patent, and they do this, they do that, and then, oh boy, if someone cannot tell those boys, listen, this, we have to make this product market fit, and it's not boys what you're creating, is what the clients wants to buy, and we have to stop writing so much code and try to talk with these future buyers,
Yeah.
see what they want, and to try to to become the friend, and to try to find them. That will give you way more ahead that your bubble of a solution that you think that is gonna be. And we see that sadly a lot in tech. I mean, you are in the game, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And it's sad, because I think this is the main reason for why these startups are failing. And if they have a women like you that can get them out of whatever you exactly share with us, that your skill was to go there, to, regardless that you have tech background, but you understood that, hey, this is not a right code to go to the moon. This is, we have to listen our client. We need to see
Yep.
what the client wants, and we have to produce an MVP adapted to their needs. And so tell us how these battles went in the company that you work, where you're trying to articulate that, and you have on the other left the super software developer that they don't know how to say, that they don't want to say, they don't want to do any market, they don't want to hear about, they're creating the technology of the world, and and that technology will save the planet. And then on the other hand, you are on the other side saying, hey guys, you need to listen to me, otherwise you're gonna keep writing code for years or nothing, and it's expensive. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the things, and the number one reason I see a lot of these tech startups fail is they've built this great technology, but there's no problem that the technology is really solving, right? They've got a solution, but there's no problem for the solution. And so the biggest thing is a lot of these tech leaders just getting comfortable, if anything, sitting in the room with the customer. They don't need to facilitate the conversation. I don't need to be the one to take it from the customer to them. It's like, let them be a fly on the wall and really listen to what is the client, the prospect, the target market really asking for.
Yeah, but tell us, what is the technique? How you speak with founders, because we see this problem again and again. How you speak with founders to make them understand that, hey guys, we need to start to put a little bit less energy in the product. The product is good.
Right.
Less focus. Let's put the energy somewhere else so we know what they want. And when we have clarity on that, we will continue with
Yes.
the energy, the resources, and everything, but we have to change the direction. And for sure, when you have this conversation, they will to tell you, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. We're building this technology. This is has AI, and you don't even know the power that it have." So,
Well, I think
conversation, how you manage to persuade them to actually listen to you, to take on board your advice, and actually uh, and made them to understand that well, we have to swing in the next
yep.
direction, or the whole boat is going to sink.
The easiest question is, where's your alpha client? Where's your partner that maybe they haven't paid you a dime yet, but they are in the trenches with your team, giving you feedback almost daily on what you are providing is going to solve a pain point or a need of theirs. Question number one, where is that one? You don't need 5, you don't need 100, but where is the one that has partnered with you to give you feedback on this is something that's really going to solve a need of mine?
Very good. That's a great tip. Now let's talk about your company. So, do you think that was a good idea to start your own tech company, knowing the huge risk that this is involved? I knew that you are women and you know the challenges that is around that. Sadly, you thought that was a good idea for you to start your own tech company?
Yeah,
Or
well, the great thing in software, not on the hardware side, but on software, it's a low cost of entry, right? You can try different things, see what people buy into, what sticks, and so it's really easy to get at least started. The hard part is, do you end up having a product that sticks and people want?
Exactly. So tell us about your company. How do you have this idea? And I want to ask you something, because usually the idea that you have is not actually the the idea that the client wants. So tell us, do you got it at the first shot, or or you have to do several iterations in order to get exactly what the clients want to buy and
Well,
to their minds?
at the end of the day, I am, and this is the same thing for an entrepreneur, constantly iterating, constantly innovating because the needs are constantly changing. And what I maybe did at the beginning becomes a commodity. So I got to figure out a more value add, more of what people are asking for. What is my target client really looking for? And so you've got to constantly be evolving.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us where the idea came from your company, and what made you think that it was a gap on the market on this service that you provided, and what actually make you different of the competition out there. Why you guys are taking market share, and guys and girls, yeah. Yeah. Tell us what make this company so different.
So it is about seeing a gap, and this was a number of years ago now, in how people really navigate their careers, and a lot being unsuccessful in terms of knowing what to do, how to make a move, how to make a pivot. And a lot of people were just doing that as, I'm going to go help you write a resume, or I'm going to help you via some coaching. But you really need a system in place to help with going through all the different parts and pieces. And so the differentiator has always been, how can I bring technology to the table to help someone better navigate their career, better navigate where they're going, not just by having a piece of paper ready, but like, and there's so many different platforms now too, is how do you aggregate all the information to be successful? So I've just stayed on the cutting edge of technology, but then also providing a personalized experience for my clients so they feel like they're, not with me all the time, but they're getting what I would provide them for more of a one-to-many experience. And so it's not just the product that we're providing, it's also the experience that entrepreneurs need to be really in tune with as well.
Yeah. And then yes, at the end of the day, the most important is to have the experience. So tell us, what are the value for the clients, tangible value, when they use your system, the system that you develop? What happened? Can they find a better job? They get better headhunted? Can they make maybe 50, 100,000 more in salary? What happened when they embrace your system and they
Yeah.
and they tell us, tell us. We
The
want
biggest thing is accelerating the time, like it's time to market. So it's time to value. So I accelerate the time to help them make a move. The average of making a move is 9 to 12 months. And so, and I've seen people go through and use the system and they've landed and moved to a new kind of opportunity even within a month. So my big thing is accelerating the time to get from point A to point B in their careers.
And then so what part of the system give them this confidence that they that's the thing. When do they know that they're ready to make a move? When obviously when the value as an employee is way more than what they're getting paid, right? But so is the system helping them to tell them, hey, it's time to make a move? You should be paying more, you are undervaluated, because this is a huge benefit, because if we have a system that can actually tell that to people in corporate, well, at least because you're busy in your work,
Yep.
right? And sometimes you're so busy trying to do the job that even you can forget that, well, hey, I can be making 30, 50, 100,000 more and and people don't realize that. So how your system help the employees to
Yes.
get
So
that?
part of it is to help gather, be it their own raw information or data about them, is really helping gather and articulate their value. So part of it is individuals don't understand the value. And so you've got to give them ways to hone in on and get to what their true value is so they can go to market and tell someone else, this is what I'm bringing to the table. Why they could articulate, I'm worth 50 grand more. And yes, you surface some data points around what the median salary is, what if you were, and where you're at, and then you look at where you're at to go, oh, I am, even on average, even if I was just an average employee, I should be making 30 grand more. So it's kind of surfacing details about them and details about the market on how to go about making progress.
So where do you find okay, let me rephrase the question, right? So where do you find the strength to start this company, knowing that in this recruitment um, environment, there are big giants around, really powerful, and what make you so brave to say, hey, I can do something amazing and I can take market share of this market, which is huge, and it's a space for everyone, but still the people are the companies around multi-million pound company, all of them, and here you go with your startup going to compete with these giants. Where do you find this strength, this bravery?
Yeah. So part of it is most of the giants charge a hefty fee for what they're providing. If you can systemize and automate a lot of that process, of which, if you think about some of these guys, they've been around forever. They haven't modernized how they go about delivering
They
their
are too big.
services.
They are too big. They
Yeah.
have legacy. They
Yep.
have all the issues. That they are like an elephant. They're way too big. So
Yes. So if you can figure
compared
out how to systemize it and automate it from the beginning, you can take a crack at breaking into those who can't afford to pay what they're wanting to charge. And a lot of those, when people do pay for it, they don't feel like what they've spent really gave them enough value.
Mhm. And then it's about the flexibility of the company, right? And
Yes.
company that start right now, you guys, if you can do this modular or whatever, I mean, I used to be software developer back in the day. I used to have hair. I was doing Java and Oracle when I was 23. Yeah, so I do know a little bit about the things. But at the end of the day, this big company, like we talked before, they have legacy, they have very rigid structure,
Yep.
and the response to change is very slow. So how you guys, how you respond to change, or how strong is your platform to respond to change, which is the especially in technology, the golden goose. If we have
Yeah.
a technology that we can respond to change quickly and implement quickly, now we have onto something big. So how you make sure you develop something that can respond to change fast?
Yeah. Well, it's back to modularity and being able to, change out a feature, add a feature. It's not that hard nowadays with especially with low to no code, different things you can be using to build a platform. It's really easy to get, especially if you're not, managing a team of 20 developers. If you can get in there and make a quick fix or a quick change, it's not that hard.
Are you implementing artificial intelligence because it's like it's the flavor of the day now, right?
Yeah, generative AI. So there's pieces of ChatGPT. There's the open API that's used to just help with generating content, but you've got to be careful too of just not using it verbatim because you're going to sound like everyone else going out for a job.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Otherwise, it's gonna sound like everyone is an integrated API of ChatGPT. This is something that anyone can do, right?
Yes.
So, wow, in the recruitment. So tell us what the future, how many people, what are the future plan for the company?
Yeah, so we're
Are you
going to
looking
keep,
for funding? Are you looking for clients? Tell us what are your idea clients. Tell us if you
yeah,
for funding, anything you need, tell us. We
yeah.
want to hear.
Don't need funding because we've been lucky
Oh,
that
that's a
basically
very good position.
self-funded. Yeah, I don't. That was my number one in starting this business is to not get any funding. This is my own company.
Wow, you're running this organically. That's a way of doing it. Yeah, that's a way to go. Fantastic.
Yes, yes. So, I mean, the biggest thing is more technology, automation. I eventually want to see the platform to be a place where my clients are basically using it across their lifetime, coming back like those milestones of like, hey, did you jot successes for the month? Hey, where are you? It's been 6 months since you've last updated your resume or updated your LinkedIn profile. Is it time to make these tweaks? So my end goal is to have a platform that's helping an individual really progress their careers from even getting into college all the way through. I'm getting ready to retire and start my own little side hustle, or now I can be a fractional consultant, because that's a thing that a lot of people are doing in the second half of their career. But I want to give them the guidance and the education and the accountability to help them move themselves along. So biggest thing, clients right now, just because my background is in tech, a lot of technologists I've worked with brought onto the platform, a lot of mid to late career people who are starting to think about what's next. A lot of them don't understand the gig economy. They don't understand there's other ways to make money nowadays. They don't necessarily want to go build their own technology platform either. They just want to go deliver value based on where they've been an expert. So a lot of this is just helping people navigate what are all the opportunities out there that isn't just applying online on LinkedIn to a job.
So where do you find the money? Because to build is expensive.
It's not if you do it wisely and having a technical skill set. I don't need to outsource to a number of resources. So it's just being wise
I
on,
agree, exactly.
right, what you're
Wise.
capable of doing, where you put funding in terms of like back office help. So that I've been having back office help for over 2 years now. So it's just there's things that not in your wheelhouse, lower cost resources, and they're just things you're going to need to do until you get to higher volume, higher revenue coming in, to then go, okay, what's the next thing I can go
Exactly. Don't get
outsource versus getting
do
in over
everything
your
step
head.
by step, right?
Yes,
And then more
yes.
the progress. That's a way of doing it. Wow, congratulations. Fantastic. We clearly know what you're doing. So what message do you have there for women that want to start their own tech company?
Go do it. Go find that problem to solve first. Don't just go build technology. Go find a need or a problem that you're really excited about. I think that's one of the things I see different with women entrepreneurs, be it in tech or not, is they're passionate about something that they can want to go solve the problem. They see the need, they see the opportunity, and it may be I can provide a better, higher quality widget, but it's what is it that you're passionate about that you see that there's an unmet gap. They're like, all right, let's go full steam ahead and solve that gap. Find someone to partner with who would be your potential first client or two that's going to help you pave the way for bringing a new technological solution to market.
So Jamie, but what made you, because there is a lot of headhunting companies out there. There is a lot of, we talk about the giants that in the recruitment space, where they're very, very big. So you're talking about go and find this problem, right? So the problem that you found between all these giants is that, well, they try to they solve it, but they solve it way too expensive. Is that correct? That would be accurate.
Yes. Very
And
costly.
it's true. It's way too expensive. And so you did your research and you say, hey, I can do this using productivity tools, and if I put a technology, I can we can make it most cost effective for everyone, right?
Yep, absolutely.
And also fit the middle range, because all these hunting companies, my understanding, they're looking always on the top guy who's gonna be the CEO of Coca-Cola, who's gonna be this, and there is a middle range with these C levels of other company, or the
Yes.
companies, from companies that they are in the range from 1 to 100 million, that they are underserved, in my opinion. And there is a lot of space there for growth, for employees to grow, for when companies turning over 100 million, there are those roles. It's like everybody wants these
Yes.
people. Everyone is after these the people, and why when everybody's going after something, and you go
Gotta go a different
uh,
place. Yes.
to a different place, and people think that there is no meat in the bone in that, but it is. Yeah,
Yes.
maybe you don't need so much money to make the the company succeed, and I believe there is a lot of money in that
Yes.
market, because what we spoke in my opinion, is on themselves. These companies between 1 million to 100 million, that in that space, because when you're 0 to 1, well, you have to do everything
Yes.
on your own, and
Yes.
you cannot pay for anything, right?
Right.
And when you have 100 million, you can afford Oracle, you can afford
All kinds of stuff.
all
Yes.
this kind of stuff. So but when you are in the middle, in the 0 to 100 million, which is lots of company in that bracket, you have to use productivity tools like you develop, and things like that, to actually uh, grow. And I
Yep.
think that you did your research very good. I want to congratulate you for that. And one more question.
Yes.
Mm, what was the biggest challenge in building this company, and how you overcome it?
So awareness, and this is where does that fifth step is like getting the brand out there, getting people to know you exist, getting them to know that you
That
can
personal
be there.
brand, building that
Yeah.
brand. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's
Tell me
both,
about it.
especially when you're the owner, it's both your personal brand, but it's also your business brand. And they, in essence, have to be one and the same. But your personal
Absolutely.
brand is also bringing that whole history of all the things you've done before this new brand that you developed. So you've got to get both out there. People know your old brand. You got to re-educate them on the new brand and just build a lot of awareness out there. That's the biggest thing to help with, getting the flywheel going, getting more inquiries coming in and wanting to work with you. That's once you kind of know you've got product market fit, you're out there, you've got some clients, you've got some testimonials. It's like, how do you 10x that awareness?
I agree with you, and people don't pay so much attention to personal brand, and it's a big thing. You know, the more you increase your personal brand, the more your corporate brand will go. Obviously, you have to have the same values because the clients are getting very savvy. Like
Yes.
they want to know who is that person behind that company before they buy. They're
And it's
getting
very easy to check that out. It's called LinkedIn.
Absolutely,
Very easy to get. And I've had seen brands recently where the owner is nowhere on the page. So I just know I'm not going to do business with that company.
absolutely, and the consumer are getting more savvy, and they want to know who is the person behind the company, where like for example, you're doing this broadcast with us. Well, the people clearly can listen in Spotify or in our social media or in
Yep.
when Apple, and they can see what you think, what are your values, what are your non-negotiables, why you're so confident that this company is going to succeed, and I think that people don't out there, companies, um, they don't put enough strength, founders, in the importance of the personal brand, and imagine how important it is that even Donald Trump, I think, is running from US, right? Regardless of the
Mhm.
political views, he has a very strong personal brand.
Yes.
So it's difficult to beat him. I think that one guy was competing against him and he put 1 billion and he couldn't beat him. And I remember that Donald Trump was saying in the press conference, "Well, you thought that it was not that easy to beat me." And what he really want to say is, "Well, my personal brand's worth more than this money." So so when you have a strong personal brand, you can do things uh,
Yes.
that you cannot do with money. In the same case, Michelle Obama after
Yep.
he left the office, right? She started to work in the personal brand. She launched her book, Becoming, and now she's a big deal. I think she's more famous than him. If you see the community, and also again, by you building that personal brand, you can create content, and that content, the community can consume that content, and that's a part of the business. No, it's more than like you were talking. It's about experience, about to create and grow a community that they are happy with the experience and they want to move on. Hey, the value for this for sure. Because if you can make people to make 10K, 50K, 100,000 more per year, I can tell you that people will love to be
Yes.
enroll in your platform. So the value is there and it's massive. Yeah. And especially if you have some way of alerts. So because I think that this is the biggest issue, that people don't update the CVs,
Yep.
take them long. Yeah.
They're long and they're not to the point of what you do for who and the value you provide. That's what you got to get to.
Exactly, and things change, and also market price change as well. At the end of the day, it's offer and demand, yeah.
Yep.
And sometimes people have to move on, and they need to get what they deserve to get, what pay like everybody else. So I think that, do you have any coaching or any vertical specific for women in your platform, or that can
It's
support them in the journey?
it's fairly agnostic today. The point will have like back to that what's going to happen in the future is to be more cohorts and masterminds to bring those specific communities together because part of it too is elevating back to awareness, elevating your network. And so getting cohorts together of like-minded professionals, be it men or women, like-minded industries, like-minded functional areas is that's another piece is really helping network those different communities.
Yeah. And now let's talk about one subject, which is social responsibility. I think that people think only that social responsibility is to save the plastic, but it's a little bit more than that. It's about bringing more women to the workplace. It's about to pay them fairly, same like men. It's about to hide them because of the values, not because they are white, brown, Chinese, black, whatever. So a lot of coming into play, and I think if your platform can help in to be more inclusivity, I think the employer will be the more beneficiary, because at the end of the day, I'm an employer, so we are
Right.
always looking for the best. My company, we don't care where you are. We want the best.
Yep.
But and I think that if there is any way that that the platform can be more inclusive, can open or at least embrace everyone, yeah, because they can say, oh, because Jamie is a woman and is white, oh, I'm not gonna put my CV there because we'll be full of white women or white people, and when it's not the case, if the platform can offer a window for more opportunity and inclusiveness is one of the sector for social responsibility that
Yes.
we want to encourage business out there to do, because we believe that everybody can win, and especially the employer, because it's at the end of the day, it's about attracting talent to your organization. And so if you can, Jamie, if your platform can make sure that bring diversity and inclusion to bring the best talent to the organization, I think you have something really powerful there. Make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Very good, very good. Okay, so on that note, last message that so which one are your ideal partners?
My what?
Ideal partners, ideal joint ventures. Yeah.
Yes. So,
How can we help you? Tell us.
yes. So really people who are in, number one, coaching. So people who are executive coaches, people who are leadership coaches, they're already partnering with a lot of people who are trying to get to that next place in their career, leveling out, what they do today, how they solve certain problems. They're going to be the closest to kind of a one to many, seeing what else is going on in helping talent get to the next level. Heads of HR, back to the diversity thing, like what are they looking for? What are their pain points and what they need, and finding and attracting the right talent. So that's another great thought partner as well, and just helping figure out where do these things go next.
So how they can find you and how the process works.
Yeah. So easiest thing, again, LinkedIn, you go look up my last name, Chambron, and you'll find me pretty easily on LinkedIn. Message me there, connect with me there. I'm a big proponent of the LinkedIn platform to building business networks. And so please come find me there. That's just the easiest way to connect with me, and we'll start a conversation.
Thank you so much, Jamie. And with that, on that note, see you everyone in our next podcast of Unstoppable, how brave entrepreneurs like Jamie break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.